In this lecture, you will learn about the periodic table, classification of the periodic table, and later on we will discuss some of the conversion units. So let's have a look first on the periodic table of the elements. So what are the elements? As we have already learned, element is a fundamental substance that cannot be chemically changed or broken down into anything simpler. So when it is, this is the symbol for the uh, carbon element, this is symbol for the iron element, cobalt, oxygen. So when they are in their elemental form, they cannot be further chemically changed, and that's why these are called the element. So what are their distributions? Actually, periodic table is the placement or the distribution of the elements into the periods and the group. So first have the first classification of the elements according to their group and the period. So this is the distribution of the group. So in the periodic table, you have 8 groups, 8A group and 8B group. So first is the 8A group. This is the first A, this is the second A, third A, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth. So these are the 8A group. Similarly, we have the 8B group, and these are starting from here. This is the first B, second B, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and these three are together are called the 8B group. So we have two groups. One is called A group and other one is called the B group. And there are 8A group and there are 8B group. So let's, what are the horizontal distribution? So how many are there are rows? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there are, we call them the periods. So there are 7 periods and 8 group, 8A group and 8B group. So this is the first classification of the element according to their group and the period. The second classification of the element is according to their blocks, and we call them orbital shell blocks. So as you have a look on these blocks, so there are 4 different blocks as shown by the different colors. This is called S block, this is called D block, this is called P block, and this is called F block. So there are F blocks are present in the periodic table. So this is the second classification of the element according to their blocks, and there are 4 blocks: S, P, D, and F blocks. The third classification is according to their nature of the element, as we have the 3 states of the matter: solid, liquid, and the gases. Similarly, the elements are divided according to their the nature. Maybe they are metal, semi-metal, or the non-metal, we call them. So this this is the distribution of the element according to their properties in the form of the metal, non-metal, or the semi-metal. So let's first have a look into detail of the properties of the element and their distribution in the periodic table. The first one, all these metals starting from 8 of 1A group, and all these elements which are shown here with the pink or the purple color the are called the metals. So I am going to divide the whole periodic table into the 3 parts. One is the metal, other one is the semi-metal, and third one would be the non-metal. So all these elements starting from here and covering all this area are the metals, and the rest, all these are called the non-metals, and they may be gases or the liquids, and they are poor conductor of heat and electricity as compared to the metals, because the metals are good in conductivity because of the presence of the unpaired electrons in their orbitals. So the third one is the semi-metal. So this is the transition between the metals and the non-metals. So actually it is the boundary between the metals. All these from here to here, all these are the metal and these are these non-metals, and in between the metals and the non-metals are called the semi-metals. So this is the third classification of the element according to their properties, maybe the metal, non-metal and the semi-metal. And according to their property, I am going to further describe actually the classification of the different groups. And there are the first classification is the group 1A, and these are called the alkali metals because they are highly alkaline or the basic in nature, and their names come from the we name them the alkali metals because they form the basic solution. Let's suppose this is one example is the sodium, and the basic molecule or the compound of the with the sodium is sodium hydroxide, and it is the basic compound. That's why these are called the alkali metals. And the second A group are the are called the alkaline earth metals because they are less reactive than as compared to the first A group, which are the alkali metals. So these are called the alkaline earth metal. So due to their specialty, they are divided into the alkali metal and the alkaline earth metal. And of course, these are the all of them are the metals as we have discussed before in the previous slide. Now, the seventh A group, generally we call them the halogens, and because halogens taken from the Greek word and its meaning is salt, because the halogens when combined with the first and the second group they form the salt. Like the example is the sodium chloride. Sodium is coming from the first A group and chloride is from the seventh group here, and they form the salt. That's why these are called the halogens. And 8A group, these are called the noble gases because they do not combine with any other elements and they are having their own identity. That's why they are called the noble, and they are present in the gaseous form. That's why these are called the noble gases. This is the elemental representation of the element, and you can show the element with the symbol, with the name. This is the symbol for the helium. The element name is the helium. And further, these are represented by the atomic number and the atomic mass. So atomic number is 2 and atomic mass of helium is 2. Mass may be changed depending on the isotopes, but the atomic number will remain the same. When it is helium, the atomic number will remain 2, and whenever it is 2, it will always be the helium. Similarly, is an example of the fluorine, atomic number 9, atomic weight or the mass number is the 19, or the atomic weight is 18.99. So there may be the other general properties we can mention along with this one. So this is the actually the topic we will further explore in the next class. The second part of the lecture is the measurement and experimentation. And these are very important terms because you use all these terms in your daily life. And in this lecture, you will learn how can we convert one unit to another unit. So the unit, so let's suppose the mass, so kindly watch in the next video